Alright, so this is a video I took yesterday. I was in Smyrna, Tennessee. It's not around the corner, but I do like to visit the Game Galaxy. Every few months, make the trip. I happen to be in that area anyway, so I thought, hey, let's stop by. So I didn't have my camera with me, so I just had to use my kind of low-tier phone camera for this. So next time I go, I'll when I plan a trip, I'll take a higher quality camera and film some of this stuff. But this is a really big arcade that uses the play all day, everything's on free play model. So you pay $12 and yeah, all day. They open at noon and I don't know, they close at like 11 on some days, maybe midnight. Either way, I mean, you're gonna be playing for a long time, and if you need to, you can leave and come back later. Yeah, it's really fun to do. Take a trip up, get there when they open at noon. This is on a Sunday when I recorded this, so they had literally just opened, so there's nobody there yet. A little later on, it got a little busy, but yeah, it's super cool. They've got so much stuff there. Now, not everything's going to be working 100%, but that's to be expected with games that are from 70s, 80s, 90s. That's just the nature of arcade games. So there's going to be some buttons that stick here and there, or a joystick that doesn't work, or whatever. But there's enough here to where if something's not working, you can you find something right beside it that does. So yeah, there's me skipping the notification on Mortal Kombat 2. So I've got a Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet. Mine was doing that forever, and then it finally dawned on me that it's because it just has a dead battery. It's all it was. I just need I just need to get one of these watch batteries and just replace it. There you go. So yeah, they got tons of stuff, and then here in a minute, there's just tons of pinball machines as well. And I remember coming to this place a few times and not even knowing that there was a back room. I thought it was like the repair room that you weren't supposed to go in. But yeah, I took one of my friends up there, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I've been playing such and such." I was like, "Well, I didn't see that. Where was that at?" So I was in the back room. It's the back room. I think what it was is I was talking about Taxi, the pinball Taxi. Love that game. And I was like, man, they used to have Taxi. Wish they had that still. He's like, oh, they have it back there. It's in the back room. I went back there. There's just a ton. You'll see in a minute near the end of the video how many pinball machines are back there. It's crazy. The other thing that's cool is when you haven't been there in a few months and you come back, they've gained new stuff. They moved some stuff out, of course, because there's only so much space, but yeah, there's always new stuff showing up. And yeah, they move things around quite a bit. Yeah, they've even got these, right? The arcade 1-ups. So they've got the Killer Instinct, right? That's the new one. I checked it out. Like, it's actually, like, the joystick on it's way better than the Mortal Kombat one was. Like, this one's actually good. It doesn't have the square gate, and it doesn't have that real loose feel like the Mortal Kombat one has. The buttons feel okay. Yeah, the volume wouldn't go up very loud, and I don't know what they did with the graphics, like on the actual cabinet. Like, the KI logo is not vertical.
Oh no!
Yeah, and here's Killer Instinct.
What's going on?
I think
buddy?
it's the hard drive. That's probably what that is. Because when KI goes to boot up, it's not only the PCB, but there's the hard drive attached to it. And if they're actually using the old hard drive, then it might not be spinning. So you gotta actually open it up and tap the hard drive. I've had to do that before. I haven't hooked my actual Killer Instinct jammer board up in a long time, but... And of course, KI2.
There it is.
should be. There's one. There's two. I got 3 of them. Cool. They used to actually even have Fighting Vipers was right here where the pole position is. That's a game I only ever saw in one place. Always liked that game. Had it on the. I still have it on the Saturn, and also on the Xbox Live Arcade. Gold blasters. Lots of stuff. I mean, I've never seen Power Stone anywhere. I've never seen Darius Burst anywhere. Well, I have been to Galloping Ghost Arcade a couple of times. That's in Brooksfield, Illinois, so kind of close to Chicago. I haven't made a trip up there specifically for that arcade, but there were a couple of times I was up that way. One was to actually pick up my pinball machine. So I own one pinball machine. I got it a couple years ago, and yeah, it was a place pretty close to there. So yeah, me and my sister took the drive up there and hit the arcade, and then the next morning got up and went and picked up my pinball machine and drove back. Long day, but it was doable. I'd say it's worth the trip, man. If you really like arcade games, like, go to one of these places. Galloping Ghost has got even more stuff than what's here, but this is like, yeah, if you show up and if you play all day, you're still not going to honestly get through all this stuff. You see how long this video is, and this is just me walking past all of the machines. This isn't even me playing any yet. So, yeah, and the Galloping Ghost, when I went there the first time, it was insane. It was like, I think the count was 700 arcades that were there. They didn't have any pinball machines at the time, but when we went back, a couple years ago, they had added a whole nother room to the main part. There's like this whole other section, as if it wasn't already big enough. And then they had also opened up a dedicated pinball store, whatever you want to call it, right? You know, like a building or two down. It's still considered Galloping Ghost, but yeah, they've got a whole section for pinball too, which is absolutely crazy. They got stuff like I never saw anywhere, like right here, Chiller. If you haven't seen that game, that's kind of a twisted game. Yeah, and just so this is some of the pinball. Like, the whole back room is just nothing but pinball. But you got a lot of stuff here, and I'll mention here in a minute, but yeah, some of the ones that are turned off, it's not that they're broken. It's just they actually ask, you know, hey, these ones here usually stay on, to be honest, but they at least used to ask for you to turn off, you know. If you turn something on, just turn it back off when you're done. Just so that those things aren't running like all day. It saves a little wear and tear on them. Now this one here, man, I hadn't seen that game in a long time. Yeah, there's so many awesome machines. I wasn't big into pinball when I was little. Like, for me, it was always beat 'em ups, right? With Final Fight and Ninja Turtles. And then when Street Fighter 2 came out, and it was all about fighting games, and I was also big into racing games. Pole Position, Outrun, Virtual Racing, Daytona USA. That's really what I was into. I played a little bit of pinball, but in more recent years, I've really gotten into pinball a lot. It's like it's probably become my second favorite. Definitely behind fighting games. That's just my number one. I can't imagine that won't be my favorite genre of game, but I think it's kind of, I think pinball may have overtaken racing, and if not, it's right there with it. Of course, I love adventure games and stuff too, and all that, but yeah, pinball has just become So fun. Just tons of stuff, man. God, I just miss all this stuff so much. It used to be so fun, and that I'd say, you know, mid 80s, but mostly the 90s. Just going to the arcade, going to the mall, just all that stuff. So cool. Like Final Fight, the first time I played that was at a Pizza Hut in my neighborhood. And it just showed up out of nowhere. Absolutely loved it. That was my go-to game. So walking past all this stuff we've already looked at. Now I'm heading towards the front. Just a big ball of white light up in the front. That's where you actually walk into this place. And they even have right here, check it out, the infamous Tattoo Assassins. It's here. This is where they keep a lot of their new pinball machines, like the brand new ones, up at the front. I mean, some of them now are a couple of years old, but I mean, like, they're constantly getting new stuff. Well, as you saw with the Killer Instinct Arcade 1-Up. And this one, wow, I mean, I hadn't seen that in so long. Not only ever saw that in one place, and this Joust 2-player machine right here. I know this one's really rare. I don't know exactly how many there are, but it's like a really small amount. And I think Galloping Ghost has one now. And then this whole section here is like console games. There's actually some other arcades, but there were some people over there. Yeah, like Alien, that's new. All right, so here's the back room. And a lot of these are turned off. But you can, I played these later on, like, yeah, Corvette, I played all this stuff.
Now these ones here,
they were
that are
working.
turned off, they're not necessarily broken.
But you never really know. Like, you could go in one time, something's broken, and show up again, and it's working again.
Running all the time. Hey, they got Terminator back, yes.
And the Terminator's been missing for a long time. It was there when I first went there, and then each time I would come back, it wasn't there. And now it's back. It's just crazy stuff you never seen, you never knew existed. Like this Mario pinball, I've never seen this.
Wow.
Not in person. Yep, and then there's Black Rose. That's the pinball machine I got. Mine looks different. It's got different lights and the sides faded. I need to make some videos of that. I haven't made any videos, but that's a really fun table. It's one that I never saw or heard of until I played it here at the Game Galaxy. That's the first place I ever saw it.
I'll add that in a minute.
And then yeah, you got some of your older tables. I got some of the wide body tables like that. Man, there's some crazy stuff. I mean, even if you didn't play any of this, just to come and see it, it's really something. I remember the only reason I found this place is because I just missed the arcade so much, and it's like they don't exist anymore. And I was like, we gotta find some arcades. And there was a Game Galaxy, and it was in, what was the mall? Like Hickory Hollow Mall or something like that in the Nashville area. That's where Game Galaxy was, and then they moved to a different place, and then they moved again, and that's where they're at in Smyrna. And then here's where I had to turn off the video. There were people in this aisle, so I came back later. This is the aisle that I couldn't go down earlier. Yeah, just super, super cool. But yeah, that's it seemed like they've been doing some maintenance there for a minute. When I'd come back, it's like I'd see the same things broken. There's still a few things that, you know, are still broken from like a while back, but like for instance the machine Bright Pinbot right there, that's been updated and everything. But yeah, so there's a little tour. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time.